Georgia and Aaron Murray and company to try to get some revenge. Doesn't get any bigger in week 2 of a college football season than number 6 South Carolina and number 11 Georgia between the hedges. And welcome everybody. Brad Nessler along with Todd Blackledge. And partner, the rallying cry for both these teams this year is let's get to Atlanta. Because if you get to Atlanta, you're in the SEC title game. Maybe you're going on to play for a national championship. That's what's happened the last 7 years anyway. For Georgia, it hasn't really worked out that way, though. They've lost to these guys and still made it. But definitely, this is a stepping stone in that direction.
Yeah, Georgia's proved you don't have to win to get to Atlanta, but why tempt fate 3 years in a row? I mean, they want to win this game, show to South Carolina, get a leg up in the East. I think there's a little more sense of urgency for Georgia, not just because they lost last week at Clemson, but if you look at their SEC conference schedule, it's a little tougher for Georgia than it is for South Carolina from here on out.
They've got LSU just down the pike in a couple of weeks. You know, last year they got hammered. The Georgia Bulldogs did. They were down 21-0 before you could blink your eye. And they had all kinds of trouble with number 7. What are they going to do with him today?
Well, you have to have a plan for him, and that's the smart thing to do. I think the key thing is change. You have to change your tempo some. You have to change your snap count, and you have to change the looks and what you show him. Sometimes you double team him. Sometimes you chip on him with the back. Sometimes you run at him. Sometimes you run away from him. Very important that you account for him on every play and that you have a very definite plan of attack.
They're still ranked 11th, but as Todd said, coming off a heartbreaking loss to Clemson last Saturday night. Now it's another opponent from the state of South Carolina. And here come the Georgia Bulldogs. Can they break that streak? We'll find out with a kickoff coming up in a moment. The SEC on ESPN, and a big one in the SEC East at hand here in Athens, Georgia. Before we kick it off with the Bulldogs and the Gamecocks, we check in with a third member of our team, Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, the Georgia coaches are concerned about their star running back. Todd Gurley did not practice much at all this week. Thursday, he was able to do some of the light reps in practice, but didn't go full speed all week. He is suffering from a left hip flexor injury. We watched him in pregame warm-ups, and he did a very difficult one-legged drill with some cones. He's got good power in that leg. He was able to jump, but he does have a bandage going around his waist, wrapping down around that hip flexor. We will keep our eye on how productive he's able to be for Georgia. Now, everybody's talking about Jadeveon Clowney, how hard or non-hard he went in his first game. He was able to keep his pregame meal down this week. Last week, he didn't eat much, just a grape and some bananas because he had a bit of a stomach bug. But his defensive coordinator, Lorenzo Ward, stood over him for pregame meal, made sure that Jadeveon ate a half a chicken breast and some spaghetti, and I'm told the head ball coach came over just to make sure that that Lamborghini is fueled up. There's gas in the tank today for Jadeveon.
And there's the head ball coach in his 21st game against Georgia, 15-5, 11-1 at Florida, and an even 500 mark as that coach of the Gamecocks. And Mark Richt in his 13th season here between the hedges, coming off a great year last year and hoping for more of the same, but off to an 0-1 start here early. Beautiful day, 80 degrees, sun at times, and clouds to cool it, but right now bright sunshine. Colin Barber set to kick, and Sean Carson waits back deep. Carson, it's like he misjudged it a little bit, went over his head, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Connor Shaw, a Georgia native out of Flowery Branch, which is only about 35-40 minutes from here. And he has done well, except against ranked teams on the road.
Yeah, that's kind of the hurdle that he's hoping to overcome in this ball game. Great leadership skills, great toughness, really like the way he plays the position. And Georgia has to be very aware of him as a runner, not just on design runs, but scrambling out of the pocket if it's not there down the field.
He's actually their leading returning rusher with Marcus Lattimore now in the NFL. First down, first snap for the Gamecocks from the 25. And it's Mike Davis, now it's Connor Shaw. Nice fake. And Shaw goes out for a first down immediately. Just what Todd was talking about. So we take a look at our impact players. Mike Davis had a sensational outing last week, including a 75-yard touchdown. Bruce Ellington was a little bit banged up. I think he'll be a bigger factor today. For Georgia, Jordan Jenkins trying to be Jarvis Jones, who just needs to beat Jordan Jenkins. And Josh Harvey-Clemens having him back in the secondary after a one-game suspension should help Todd Grantham's back end defensively. So one snap, one first down. 13-yard pickup for Shaw. And it's first down at the 38-yard line. Third down and 7. Shaw fires, and this one's complete in the first down in Georgia territory near the 45-yard line. And got it to Nick Jones.
Nice job by Connor Shaw staying in the pocket and waiting for that route to open up against a zone defense. The linebackers drop. Connor Shaw reads it. And right in between the defenders, there's a little curl route. Good for the first down. One criticism Steve Spurrier had of his quarterback last week was, hey, let the thing develop. Hang in there a little longer. Stay with the pass play. Don't be in too big of a hurry to leave the pocket. He did exactly that on that third down throw.
High snap. Shaw on the option pitch. And they got the first down, and they got a lot more. Davis spinning his way inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Nice job by Shaw. First of all, fielding the snap. This is the second high snap in this drive. Again, a new center. Shaw fields it, makes the correct read. Poor leverage that time by the Georgia defense. And an easy first down conversion on the option.
Mike Davis at 115 yards last week in the win over North Carolina, and off to a good start. He got 21 there. The Georgia defense on their heels a little bit here on the opening drive. Davis inside run this time, a tough couple of yards, and actually second effort might have picked up 2. Marlo Herrera, the first to hit him.
One of the guys that did not get very much action for South Carolina a week ago was Bruce Ellington, the two-sport star, the wide receiver and point guard on the basketball team. He had a little bit of a hamstring injury through camp. He's 100% and will probably get more balls thrown his way in this game today.
There he is, coming down to the bottom of your screen now, the 9th play of the drive. Brandon Wilds in at tailback. At the Georgia 16-yard line, play action. Shaw flush this time from the pocket. Dawgs giving chase. Throws on the run in the corner, incomplete. Intended for Demir Bird. Nice pressure that time by Leonard Floyd.
And that was maximum protection by South Carolina. This was only a 2-man route. The only 2 receivers right here. There were 3 defenders. They did a nice job of switching and had Ellington covered in the back of the end zone. Connor Shaw smartly threw the ball away.
Well, Georgia's been unable to get out of these third down situations. South Carolina 2 for 2 on their third down conversions. This is the longest one they've had on this drive. Noise is getting to Connor Shaw. Third down and 13. Quarterback draw all the way. And he's just going to sit down, get what he can, and set up the field goal unit.
And did you notice also, he got a few yards, and he went down right in the middle of the field to help his field goal kicker as well. Pretty smart decision there.
Elliott Fry, 2 for 2 on the season. Freshman out of Frisco, Texas. So his career long, if you want to put it that way, is 39 yards. The one he hit last week against North Carolina. This will be a 36-yard field goal attempt. South Carolina looking to capitalize on their opening drive and get points. And they do. Fry from 36. And so more than 5 minutes used on that drive by South Carolina. They finally stalled a little bit on a 3rd and long. Had to settle for 3. And now Jadeveon Clowney in the defense will be up next against Georgia. Come on, Russ. It's only 80 degrees. Hug a 9. South Carolina 3-0 lead. Capping a 57-yard drive in 11 plays. And a 36-yard field goal. The opening score of the ball game. Justin Scott Wesley back at the goal line for Georgia. Malcolm Mitchell injured his knee in the first quarter in last week's loss to Clemson, out for the year. He would have been big in the return game, and he was their leading receiver. So they're missing some speed. This guy, they hope, can pick up the slack. Knuckleball kick and a bounce and go out of bounds. So Georgia's going to get some good field position out of that poor kickoff. And it's a pistol set right now with Quavon Hicks, the fullback, in there. And Todd Gurley, the tailback. First down for the Dawgs at the 35. They give it to Gurley. And unlike his first carry against Clemson last week when he went 75 yards, he got one. And T.J. Gurley made the stop. Oh, 3 against South Carolina. Had one good game actually 2 years ago, but all 4 of his touchdown passes career-wise against South Carolina came in that game. Now an eye backfield, and Murray makes a motion and the toss to Gurley, and Gurley broke a tackle, and he's got a first down. We take a look at our impact players, and obviously Gurley is one of them. Arthur Lynch at tight end. I think he's too good to only have one pass thrown his way, which was the case last week. And Jadeveon Clowney, everybody's impact player when South Carolina is on the field. Todd Gurley, last year's sensational campaign, over almost 1,400 yards rushing, and on everybody's preseason All-America list. So the Dawgs already out to the 48-yard line. Murray, here comes Clowney, lets it fly. He's got his man, and it's caught at the 20-yard line by Michael Bennett. Well, Clowney got a piece of him, but Murray got rid of it.
You got to do different things with Clowney. This time they're just going to count on their left tackle, Canarius Gates, to block one-on-one. No help from the back. And he didn't hold him out very long, but long enough.
Now at the 20, it's Gurley on the corner. Gurley down the sideline. Touchdown. What an opening drive by the Dawgs.
They get the throw, and then they go quick count. They change the tempo right after the conversion, and that caught the South Carolina defense out of position, and Gurley gets it to the end zone.
Beal's point after is good. Aaron Murray off to a good start here in quarter number 1.
To the end zone. Excellent execution on that drive by the Georgia offense.
So it didn't take long for Murray to erase that goose egg as far as touchdown passes. It's an onside kick for the Dawgs. And they've got it.
Wow.
Whoa, that was gutsy. Georgia football.
The ball has to go 10 yards, obviously. That's the rule. Beautifully executed kick. Now, they saw it. I mean, Sky Moore, number 10, who is a freshman, saw it and was going for the ball, but he was the only South Carolina player in that front wall to react quickly to the football.
Blake Sailors recovers the onside kick at the 47-yard line. Now would Georgia take a shot right here? Murray in the pistol. Play action. Murray wants it down the middle. Complete. And it's a tight end, Arthur Lynch again. Pickup of 17 and a Georgia first down.
Kind of an unusual defensive call by South Carolina that time because they didn't even rush Jadeveon Clowney. They kind of dropped him into zone coverage. And wasn't much linebacker help underneath. An easy throw for Murray.
And Georgia goes with tempo here again. Pass should have been caught.
Should have been caught and would have been a first down.
Rhett McGowan dropped it.
McGowan is in there playing more in this game because obviously the injury to Malcolm Mitchell. Also Jonathan Rump, the junior college receiver they were hoping to get back, is not. That's a beautiful throw and a read by Aaron Murray, and that should have been a first down for Georgia.
And Georgia apparently going to go for it on 4th down and long. Remember, their regular kicker, this is the second game he's out due to suspension, so they don't have any range from the field goal unit. They're going to take a crack at it here on 4th down. They need to get all the way to the 18-yard line.
They better chip this time.
Murray has plenty of time. Seam route, got him inside the 10 to the 7. And a first and goal for the Dawgs.
When Aaron Murray has a clean pocket, he throws extremely accurately. This is just throwing and catching. I mean, this isn't even a challenge right now for Aaron Murray. A lot of space on the outside. Justin Scott Wesley does what McGowan didn't do the play before.
We're down to 3:45 remaining in the first quarter. Second down and goal at the 9. Nice play fake by Murray. Lobs it to the end zone and threw that one over everybody's head. There was some contact back there with Justin Scott Wesley and T.J. Gurley, but no flag.
Well, I think if the ball wouldn't have been thrown so high, they might have gotten a penalty flag. But this was an uncatchable ball that Aaron Murray threw. He took a shot because Gurley had his back to the play and wasn't seeing where the ball was being thrown. But that ball was thrown too high to draw the flag.
Gurley goes out. Keith Marshall comes in. And blitz. Quick slant thrown, caught. Back to the 5 goes Michael Bennett. But it's going to be 4th and goal there.
Pretty nice response by the South Carolina defense there. I mean, there's a little fatigue with them, but they knew they had to keep Georgia out of the end zone after that 4th down conversion. And they get the stop and a field goal attempt.
That'll mean Patrick Belis, the walk-on from Atlanta, 5 for 5 last week against Clemson and point afters. They had a bobbled snap that would have been a field goal attempt that could have been huge against the Tigers. In this case, they'll try one from 22 yards away. Everything clean there, and the kick is perfect. So Georgia gets 3 out of a gutsy special teams adventure by Coach Richt. And they've got a touchdown lead over the Gamecocks here. Here so far, Aaron Murray has the best of Connor Shaw. South Carolina's defense was on the field basically for about 16 plays in a row after that onside kick and after Georgia's touchdown drive. But the Dogs did have to settle for a field goal after having it 1st and goal at the 7. This kick taken 3 yards deep by Sean Carson. And Carson hammers he got across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. South Carolina takes the field. It's been a while since they've been out there offensively now. And they'll work at the 23-yard line.
I think it's very important for South Carolina's offense to make some 1st downs here and let their defense rest a little bit.
And Shaw will keep it. Only got a yard. That's about it. Sterling Bailey, the guy that put him down.
You mentioned Connor Shaw from Flowery Branch, Georgia, one of 27 South Carolina players from the state of Georgia. A little extra juice in those guys this week.
They've got 8 starters from Georgia. Georgia has all but 3 of their starters offensively, defensively, and special teams from the state of Georgia. And they got everybody playing deep. And a 3-man rush coming. Shaw will take off. And he's not even going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Georgia will force the punt. Leonard Floyd, that freshman.
Todd Grantham told us about Leonard Floyd that he was going to play a lot in this game. He's very athletic, and they felt like he could get Connor Shaw on the ground. He was one of those guys in the open field that would be able to tackle the quarterback and get him down, and he certainly did on that 3rd and long.
Tyler Hull with a first punt coming up, and Damian Swan, starting corner, the return man back around his 40-yard line. High kick, great hang time. Fair catch taken by Swan way back at the 30-yard line. Tremendous punt, 49 yards and no chance for a return. We'll return to Athens in a moment.
I think Georgia needs to stay aggressive. So far in the first quarter, their offensive game plan has been very aggressive. Aaron Murray's made very good decisions with the football.
He's in the pistol right now with Marshall behind him at the tailback spot. Gurley does probably 2/3 of the work. And then Keith Marshall comes in. Great to have 2 tailbacks that good. Long handoff. Almost a missed handoff. And Marshall goes out across the 35. Pick up a 5.
A little bit surprised that Jadeveon Clowney has lined up at right defensive end every snap so far in the first quarter. That's what he did when these 2 teams played a year ago. But in week 1, he actually lined up in about 6 different spots throughout the game. I think it's kind of smart to give different looks to the Georgia offense also where Clowney lines up.
And one of those 6 spots was right over the center's nose. And Georgia's going to let the clock wind down to end quarter number 1. Aaron Murray can talk things over with Mark Richt. Crowd reacts to a good 15 minutes at home between the hedges. Georgia leading South Carolina 10-3 at the end of one. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Back to the rafters as always. Sold out crowd for a big SEC East battle. Georgia leads at the end of one over 6th-ranked South Carolina 10-3. Long way to go, but Todd, this win would take away that bad taste in the mouth from the Clemson game, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and even more so because it's a conference game.
Right.
And as we talked about at the very top of the show, the goal for both of these teams is let's get to Atlanta. If we get to Atlanta, good chance good things can happen for us.
Georgia opens the quarter with 2nd down at the 37-yard line. Straight ahead give. Keith Marshall in the open field. Marshall all the way down to the 35-yard line. He's got more speed than Gurley, and he just picked up 28 yards.
Boy, beautiful blocking on the point of attack. They're running a little counter play back to the right side. Watch guys hang on to their block. Nice job by the wide receiver, Michael Bennett, who came in there and got a block on the outside backer, but a good job of sticking on blocks on the back side of that play. And Marshall, with good vision, turns it into a big run.
And Keith has got 31 yards now on 3 carries, and he's close to what he got the entire game a year ago in Columbia. Just outside the Gamecocks 35. Nice play fake, and Murray's in trouble, and Clowney's got it. And that didn't take but about 2 seconds for Clowney to be in the Georgia backfield.
Well, he went on an inside move. Watch him take one step up and then a quick inside move. And I don't know if Marshall was supposed to help the tackle Gates on that play or not. But that's the first time in that one-on-one battle with Canarius Gates that Clowney had his way.
And that's his first sack of the season. And his 22nd of his career. And that'll fire him up, I'm sure. And it backs Georgia up to the 45-yard line. And now it's Marshall going left side this time. Broke a tackle, broke another. Cuts it upfield. And Marshall got most, or I should say all of the sack yardage, and almost got a first down out of it, a 16-yard run.
Well, good counter. Clowney tried to do the same thing. Watch him come inside, and by doing so, he took him out of the play on the run. He goes inside, the run goes outside of him, and Gates is able to knock him all the way down by the center, and Marshall gets most of that yardage back.
And gives Georgia a more manageable 3rd down and 4. And Jadeveon Clowney will take this play off. Todd Gurley back in there. He'll get the handle. Gurley looks like a face mask. His helmet came off, and now the play is dead. The play is dead as soon as his helmet comes off. And that's not to say he wouldn't have scored a touchdown without his hat, but that's the rule. But they're going to have a first down on a face mask penalty, and Gurley another good run.
See, again, what you're counting on and betting on as a Georgia offense is that if you get him one-on-one against an unblocked guy.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. Because of the foul, number 3 can't remain in the football game.
Again, even though his helmet came off, Todd Gurley can stay in because it was a penalty on the face mask that brought that helmet off.
Well, that was Kelcy Quarles, the nose guard, who just instinctively reached out to try to get a piece of Gurley and ended up getting a handful of face masks. He has to come out, but Marshall's looked pretty good on this drive himself.
At the 13-yard line, Murray rolling to throw. Firing back across his body, and he got it complete to Scott Wesley, short of the first down. But it's going to be down around the 6-yard line. Georgia can get a first down around the 3. And they're going to go tempo again here without a huddle. Second down and 3 from the 6-yard line. Murray in the gun's going to flare it out to Marshall to the corner. Gone. Touchdown. Aaron Murray's second touchdown pass of this first half. And Georgia an extra point away from a 2-touchdown lead.
South Carolina chose to take Clowney out of the game to give him a break, which he needed. He stayed out for a couple plays. He stayed out for one play too long because they capitalized on it.
Beal's point after is good.
Nice block by Gates, the left tackle. Chris Conley, the wide receiver. Gates got a cut block on the backup defensive end. Conley got a block. Marshall got a touchdown.
Georgia leading by 2 touchdowns. They just capped a 69-yard drive in 7 plays with Aaron Murray's second touchdown pass of the day.
Well, Jadeveon Clowney is a very difficult guy to cut, but with him on the sideline, Mike Bobo called a play that called for Gates to cut. You're also going to see a good block by Conley on the inside defender, and at the very end of the play in the corner of the end zone, Michael Bennett, the other wide receiver, number 82, stays on his block. Perfect call with the personnel on the field at that play for South Carolina.
10 pass attempts, 2 touchdowns for Aaron Murray. 97 in his Georgia career. Colin Barber to kick. And the kick is deep to Carson. About 4 yards in, he'll bring it out. Sean Carson. And he's not going to make the 20-yard line. And again, it's Sailors on the special teams. The guy that made the onside kick recovery earlier. As Gamecocks in a tough spot here. Crowd going wild with a 2-touchdown lead, and they work from their own 16-yard line. Connor Shaw on the option pitch. Got it on the corner to Davis. Great speed for Davis. And a nice run all the way out near the 40-yard line. 24-yard pickup.
Nice block by the tight end, Rory Anderson. He missed last week with a hamstring injury. Big number 81 blocking on the perimeter. I think they got to get the ball in his hands a little bit, and I think Shaq Rowland, I think, is probably their best all-around receiver. They need to get him involved in the passing game this drive as well.
Again, they look to the sideline, changing things up if he can be heard. 3rd down and 4. Out of the shotgun, quick throw and a slant, and it's Ellington for the first down and then some. Bruce Ellington down to the 42-yard line, pick up a 14.
Well, they got that snap off right before the play clock expired. They saw the one-on-one coverage with the true freshman, and Ellington did a nice job of freezing Langley at the line of scrimmage and getting inside for the slant.
As you mentioned, Georgia's been out there the majority of the time. In the last 25 snaps, Georgia's offense has been out there 19 plays. So this is good for South Carolina to keep something working here in Georgia territory with a first down. 10 minutes remaining in the half. Here comes a blitz. Shaw's going to run away from it. Loads and fires. Deep ball, and just over the outstretched hands of Kane Whitehurst, who had a long touchdown last week.
Tell you what, that was awful close to being a late hit on Connor Shaw as well. The ball was clearly gone when he was leveled at the end of the play. Watch how long the ball's gone before he's hit. Now it's close. Jordan Jenkins in pursuit.
So we'll bring up 2nd down at 10. All the wideouts and tight ends to the right, and now they're going to switch the tight end back. And a slot to the left on 2nd and 10. In the shotgun, Shaw stands in, scrambles. Now he'll take off, and he got away from the rush. And he got away from everybody. Connor Shaw, great run. Run out of bounds after a pickup of 20.
Nice instinctive move. It was a 4-man rush, so you, as a quarterback, you look downfield and you feel the rush, but he saw and felt a huge lane just to the right of his center open up for him, and that's just an instinctive football play.
That's what he does best.
Yep.
Right there. Got it all the way to the 22-yard line. 1st and 10, Gamecocks trying to close the gap here in a 14-point ball game. And they keep it on the ground and just bulldoze their way down inside the 7.
With both these teams, their backs are hard-running physical backs. And so if you want to stop them, you have to stop them on their side of the football. You have to get penetration across the line of scrimmage, get them to change directions or slow down. If you let them get a full head of steam hitting the line of scrimmage, they're going to drag you for extra yards, whether it's South Carolina or Georgia.
South Carolina can actually get a first down if they hit about the 4-inch line. So this is not 2nd down and goal, but it is 2nd down and 6. Brandon Wilds in the backfield with Shaw, and again he comes up to his offensive line. High snap, got it to Wilds, and Wilds scores standing up. Touchdown, South Carolina. That looked too easy.
That's just a little zone run. Corey Robinson, the left tackle, the left guard, A.J. Can. They just power their way into the end zone. That's just good hard-nosed running that time on that drive by both Davis and, in that case, Wilds.
Elliott Fry in for the point after. $84-yard drive in a little over 5 minutes. Good looking drive. Connor Shaw kept it alive with his legs. And then his tailback did the final 6 yards in Brandon Wilds. 84-yard march in 12 plays. South Carolina with a touchdown. And the game is back to a 3-point difference. 10-10. 1-score difference as Brandon Wilds scores to cap an 84-yard drive.
This was good work by South Carolina. Connor Shaw's looking to the sideline. They're looking for the right look to run the football again. So they see it, and what they're looking for is a bubble. And what a bubble is these 3 defenders right here kind of form a bubble. You want to run to the bubble. You want to run in that area, and that's exactly what South Carolina did. They got the look they wanted. They got 3 big linemen blocking, 2 wide receivers coming in. Run to the bubble, run to the end zone for 6 points.
Todd Gurley, a kick returner at times, but they don't want to put him in that spot with that hip flexor problem that he had after the Clemson game last week. If they desperately needed a big kick return, Mark Richt would probably want him out there, though. And this one won't be returnable. Here's Georgia in an I backfield with Todd Gurley, the tail behind Quavon Hicks. And he gets the call, and he's going to lose yardage this time. T.J. Surratt is the first guy to meet him, and then he gets buried by 3 Gamecocks before it's all over.
Remember what I just said about with both of these teams and the backs that they have. If you want to stop them, you have to get on their side of the line of scrimmage. That was good penetration by South Carolina. They got Gurley moving a little bit sideways instead of straight up north and south, and they were able to make the tackle behind the line.
Brings up 2nd down and 11. South Carolina thinking about a blitz, and now Murray takes his time. And he moves Todd Gurley to his left. Going to throw back the other way, and it's caught by the tight end Lynch at about the 29-yard line. So they've already used Lynch a lot more than they did against Clemson, and including a touchdown. And they'll go hurry up here on a 3rd down.
It was a nice job finding a matchup. Lynch is 6'5". He was working against Gurley, who's 5'10". An easy throw and catch for Murray.
Big 3rd down here for Georgia, trying to recapture some momentum here with under 6 minutes to play in the half. From the 30. Murray keeps it on the ground, and only a pickup of a yard or 2, so they're going to have to punt for the first time.
Nice job that time. That outside linebacker, Marquise Roberts, lost his helmet on the play, but he didn't lose a hold of Gurley, and they stopped him short. It's a big stop for Carolina.
No doubt. Colin Barber, his first punt of the day, coming up here with 5:25 on the clock running, remaining in the half. Bruce Ellington back deep. Oh, bobble to snap. Had to cover it. And South Carolina's going to have it at the Georgia 18-yard line. Huge play. And a gaffe by the special teams for Georgia.
Well, they had a gaffe in the Clemson game a week ago that cost them 3 points. This was a good snap. Just a lack of concentration by the punter, Colin Barber. A week ago at Clemson with the score 31-28, they botched a snap on what would have been a chip shot field goal that could have tied the game. Another special teams error sets up South Carolina with a chance to draw even in this game before the end of the first half.
Golden opportunity here for the Gamecocks in the red zone at the 18-yard line. Connor Shaw, 3 wideouts for him in the gun. waiting for the snap on the silent count. Drops, fires to the corner to the end zone. Touchdown. Nick Jones in the corner, and just one snap after that bobbled snap by Georgia, and it's an 18-yard touchdown.
Well, they picked on the true freshman, Brendan Langley, and Langley got caught with his body turned inside and looking inside, and they ran the post corner route. Beautifully run by Nick Jones, and a perfect throw by Connor Shaw. They went after the rookie. He was in bad position, and one play after the turnover, they get a touchdown.
Just like that, tie ball game, or will be after this point attempt by Elliott Fry. And we're all tied up between the hedges. It took all of 7 seconds for South Carolina to take advantage of one bad Georgia play. Definitely not a special team play, but a special touchdown in the corner from 18 yards. We're dead even. So the last 2 snaps for South Carolina have produced touchdowns. Deep kick, and this won't be returnable. Got a flag down, however, back at the 40-yard line. Here he gets going upfield. Stiff arm, Gurley out to the 47-yard line where he stepped out, but that shows his power, and a 12-yard pickup.
You have to set the edge of your defense and turn him back inside, and don't let him get those shoulders pointed straight up the field. What a stiff arm.
Wow. At the 47. They're going to keep feeding him. This time he's going to run out of real estate after a short game. But Georgia's got something working, and South Carolina unable to substitute. They do bring in a fresh guy now. So Georgia now on a 2nd down and 8 at the South Carolina 44-yard line, trying to get points here before halftime. Quick slant caught. Rhett McGowan, who dropped one earlier, holds on to this one down to the 30-yard line.
Well, the key to this Georgia offense today is just the balance. The balance between run and pass, and the quick decisions by Aaron Murray. He's not holding on to the ball a long time. There's space to throw the football because they're mixing run and pass so effectively well.
Marshall at the tailback spot. He'll get the handle on the inside, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Marquise Roberts in on the stop. So we're down to 3:40 and a 2nd and long coming up. There's 2 Gerald Dixons, a Gerald Dixon Jr. and a Gerald Dixon on the defense at times for South Carolina. They are half brothers. At least we don't have a George Foreman out there, or 5 or 6 of them. 2nd down 11. Murray again. They throw it to McGowan. He breaks into the secondary, and it looks like he's got a 1st down.
Well, what a great job by the center, David Andrews. In college football, if you throw a screen, if it's caught behind the line of scrimmage, linemen can release, and the only guy that got down there in front of the play was the center, and he got a pancake block that allowed McGowan to get that very close to a 1st down.
Aaron Murray's hit his last 6 passes, 10 out of 13 in the 1st half. Todd Gurley breaks it outside. Gurley with another stiff arm, and it's 1st and goal. Georgia. He is quite a package to try to bring down.
Well, it just shows you the nimbleness to bounce this outside. I mean, this is an inside run. Watch him bounce right here, right off the left foot, bounces outside, and by doing that, gets more yardage.
Here he comes on the inside. Gurley's close, down just outside the 1.
And again, this is where you feed him the ball, because you're betting on the fact that even if they have an unblocked guy, if it's a linebacker or a defensive back, and it's one-on-one, Gurley's going to win that battle. 2nd
down and goal inside the 2. Gurley straight ahead, plows his way in. Touchdown, Georgia. Boy, what an impressive drive by Georgia. And they score on a 2-yard touchdown run.
Good push up front. Again, the fullback's in there, and then the leg drive of Gurley. Just drives it into the end zone. Feed him the ball. When you get inside the 5-yard line like that, take your chances that people don't want to tackle him one-on-one.
Caps a 70-yard drive in a hurry with a 2-yard touchdown run, and Georgia again takes a touchdown lead back, 24-17. Todd Gurley, 244 yards on the season already, 8.4 a carry, and that's helped by a 75-yard touchdown run against Clemson on the first snap offensively for him this year.
Well, I think Mark Richt got his wish. When I talked to him Thursday, he says, I'm hoping 2 more days of healing and some adrenaline, and Gurley will feel okay like playing football on Saturday.
It's a high short kick this time. And running catch at the 15 by Carson. And he's run out of bounds before he got to the 30-yard line. South Carolina, they've got all 3 of their timeouts. Connor Shaw in the pocket now, runs and throws and completes it to the tight end. And he picks up 11 and a first down.
South Carolina has all 3 of their timeouts. The key is getting that first down when you're in a 2-minute type offensive set. So they got that. Clock stops while they reset the chains.
Now it starts to move. 1st and 10 at the 48. South Carolina trying to tie it here before halftime. Middle screen. This time Brandon Wilds on the run, and Wilds is going to be close or maybe pick up another first down. And Shaw is down.
Yeah, he got drilled. I mean, you know, if you're a defensive lineman and you have a free course to the quarterback, you probably better expect that there's a draw coming. They let those guys come in, and they threw the draw right where they left.
You saw Dylan Thompson start to take the field. He came in for 1 play last week and threw a 29-yard touchdown pass when Shaw was shaken up. But Connor's going to stay in there here on 1st and 10. Throws wide side this time, and a good throw, and out of bounds is Nick Jones. So South Carolina moving it right down the field.
Good game management right now by Connor Shaw, and that's what you would expect out of a senior. Again, trying to get that first win against a ranked opponent on the road. And as a quarterback, you live for these kind of situations. A scoring opportunity late in the half or late in the game. 18 seconds left here in the first half.
At the Georgia 30-yard line. The time is of the essence here. Only 18 seconds remaining. Shaw going to go to the end zone. Man out there. Got it, and touchdown. Nick Jones again.
They went after the freshman for the 2nd time in the game, and that's kind of what I was talking about with young players. You don't want to have a letdown late in the half and give up a big play. They got Langley earlier in the game, and they went after him here with 18 seconds left, and the ball got thrown over his head.
Perfect throw. And Jones' 2nd touchdown catch of this half. 1 in one corner of the end zone and 1 in the other. And Connor Shaw and Dylan Thompson saying, there we go. Extra point away from a tie game again. Elliott Fry, the true freshman. And it's dead even after 2 quarters. Couldn't ask for more. Number 6, South Carolina, 24. Number 11, Georgia, 24. Let's check in with Mark Richt and Holly Rowe. Holly.
Coach, what factors did you consider when you decided to go for that onside kick early in the game?
Well, just the way they lined up, it looked like it was there, and our guys executed it very well.
What kind of impact do a decision like that to go for it and then go for it on 4th and 13 have on your ball club in this game?
Well, when you make them, it's a good impact. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to make it when we take those types of risks. But, you know, everything was calculated, and the guys executed well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So we played a half in Athens. Mark Richt heads to the locker room. His team, 24-24 matchup with South Carolina as we head for Reese, Lou, and Mayday in the Lexus halftime report. Fellas. SEC on ESPN. Sun-drenched Sanford Stadium. Doesn't get any closer either. Brad Nessler, Tom Blackledge, Holly will be along in a second. Georgia has 2 more total yards than South Carolina. First downs are even. Penalties are even. Sacks are even. Scores even.
And so are turnovers.
Right.
And I think that will change in the second half. I really think in a game, the way this game is going, in the feel of this game, whoever can create some turnovers in the second half is going to have the upper hand, because both offenses have been very efficient. Both quarterbacks have played well. Each of them hit their last 6 passes to end the first half. So turnovers, I think, will turn the game in the second half.
One was 9 out of 13, one was 10 out of 13, talking about the quarterbacks. Let's go down to the sideline of Holly Rowe.
Well, I was able to talk to Steve Spurrier. He said that when it was down 17-3, what was going through his mind was just calling plays, continuing to gain some momentum. He said that Connor's run-outs at the quarterback position really helped them keep plays alive. He said, hey, I just got to keep making plays.
We'll see who makes the most plays in the final 2 quarters. And this one has the feel that maybe whoever has the football last survives and wins it. 3rd quarter underway. Justin Scott Wesley's just got to watch this one go out the back of the end zone. We talked about the 2 quarterbacks, both having something to prove. Aaron Murray has struggled against top 20 teams. Connor Shaw's 3 losses have come on the road against good teams, and both had great first halves.
They really did. I mean, they showed excellent leadership. They did what they do well. Aaron Murray distributing the football to a lot of different people, and Connor Shaw running when the opportunity presented itself.
Georgia comes out with a 4 wide receiver group here to open the 3rd quarter. Murray's going to flare it out to Marshall, and he hits him in stride. Keith Marshall cuts back inside all the way to the 28. A 48-yard pass play.
Clowney came inside. They got a block on a linebacker. Actually, 2 defenders ran into each other, the corner and the safety, and nobody was on the edge of the defense, and Marshall turned a short pass into a long gain.
Marshall comes out, and Gurley comes back in a pistol set at the 27-yard line. And Gurley broke 1 tackle, kept his balance, and he's down near the 20. Running over guys, including Bryson Williams, who's slow to get up.
It gets old tackling him, and the longer a game goes, the more difficult it is to tackle him, and the more courage it requires to come up and try to tackle him.
Williams is going to have to come out. He's still down. Gurley a carry away from another 100-yard game. Again, Georgia playing without Malcolm Mitchell, who tore his ACL last week in the loss to Clemson. He'll be out for the season, and we wish him well in his rehab.
Keep an eye on Arthur Lynch down here, a big target on the inside of the offense.
Gurley can't get away this time. Jadeveon Clowney holding on for dear life.
Now he crashed. He's been coming inside a lot instead of going up the field. Doesn't want to get run underneath. He's been on a lot of inside moves. That time he fell right into the play. Works down the line of scrimmage. That's perfect technique by defensive end. Get right down the line of scrimmage and chase the ball.
3rd down and 12 now for Georgia, trying to take advantage of the turnover. Their biggest receiver height-wise is Michael Bennett. He's down on the left side in the slot. Murray, here comes the heat. Down he goes. Corner blitz. Actually, it was the outside linebacker, the Spur player, Marcus Roberts.
Yeah, the right tackle, John Theus, couldn't get outside. Well disguised and a well-timed pressure from the outside. The tackle couldn't react quick enough. And again, sometimes when you're so concerned about a guy on the other side, Clowney, you forget about what happens on the other side. And that was a well-timed and well-executed pressure.
A little bit of pressure on this guy. Patrick Belis made his first field goal from 22, but this one's 15 yards deeper. 37-yard kick, and it's good. Gives Georgia the lead back with 8:03 to go, 3rd quarter. Dogs 27-24. Colin Barber to kick. Sean Carson waits back deep. And this one's a knuckleball line drive. Carson fields it at the 10. Cuts back to the middle of the field and got buried at about the 23-yard line. Connor Shaw only 1 mistake so far today. Other than that, the senior from Flowery Branch has been exceptional. He's bought time with his legs and saved some first downs, several in fact. And then he's used Nick Jones to his very best advantage with a couple of touchdown tosses in the 2nd quarter. One in the right corner of the end zone and one in the left. And then Here's the only mistake. That fumble a few moments ago led to Aaron Murray to Keith Marshall on a long pass, and then the field goal moments ago that gives Georgia the 3-point lead.
Well, and this is where you count on his experience and his leadership to move on to the next play. Forget that one. Get your team going again.
He fakes the throw after the handoff to Mike Davis, who only got a yard. Damian Swann from the corner made the hit. So midway through the third quarter, number 6 team in the country trailing number 11, 27-24. Three wide outs to Shaw's left. That's where he's looking right now, and throwing in a tight window and got it complete. Out across the 40 is Nick Jones. He's been his favorite target. And Mike Davis is down in the South Carolina backfield. Mike Davis stuck his nose in there on pass protection like you were talking about, Todd.
Yeah, he's right here. He's going to slide over and get a nice pickup on Leonard Floyd, who's blitzing in the inside. Did his job, but kind of paid the price for it.
Yeah, he got the worst of it. Apparently okay on the sideline. First down, South Carolina at its own 40. Shaw again flares it out of the backfield, and Brandon Wilds, that play worked with Mike Davis a couple series ago, but that time it doesn't. Let's check in with Holly.
Guys, Mike Davis will be able to return to this ball game. In fact, he's running out there right now. He just got hit on the elbow. All is well.
So Wilds out, Davis in.
Well, that play would have worked with Brandon Wilds too if it was a better throw.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to throw that ball high to a back. You want to throw that ball right down around the numbers where he can catch it and get turned upfield and not worry about reaching for a bad football.
Shaw has a look at Coach Spurrier, and he's going to run the option, and he'll keep it. And he only got about a yard before the collision with Leonard Floyd.
Actually, I think the two Georgia guys hit each other. Shaw kind of slid underneath the contact, and a couple Bulldogs got the worst of this one. Watch Shaw slide underneath when he knows he can't get any more yards, and 3 of them.
Oof.
It was a head-on collision with 3 Bulldogs.
Big third down right here. South Carolina with a 3rd and 9. They're 50% on the day on third down conversions. Nick Jones, the motion man, has been the big play receiver today for South Carolina. Georgia's going to bring a blitz. Shaw fires far side and incomplete. And Bruce Ellington, I think he lost it in the sun.
That ball was well thrown. It was the correct read. And Bruce Ellington completely lost it in the sun.
That's exactly the angle he would have seen, actually, obviously out of the shadow there.
Georgia came with the blitz. It was man coverage with a free safety, and he went to the right guy, and Ellington had no idea where the football was. What a break for Georgia.
Lynn Swann used to tell me, if the sun's in your eyes, catch the sun. That time he didn't get his hands in the right spot. High punt again, a dandy. Going to try to return this one, and maybe got 2 yards out of it. Speaking of Swann, that's Damian Swann on the other end of the punt. Georgia will have the ball back on offense. A little over 6 remaining, third quarter. Georgia leading by 3. And Uga 9 enjoying the festivities so far. He's going to back up. It's nice and cool in the doghouse. A little bit warmer out in the sun. Gurley hit at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get anything. Darius English and Sky Moore combine on the stop.
They're really high on Sky Moore. They think he's got a very bright future. Freshman out of Cooper City, Florida. Can really run. Very instinctive player.
Todd Gurley in his sophomore season has his 11th career 100-plus rushing game in this one. Murray, quick strike on a seam, and that probably should have been caught. Reggie Davis, true freshman out of Tallahassee, couldn't hold it.
Well, Davis getting some action in the game again because some of the injury problems at wide receiver. This is a perfectly thrown and perfectly timed pass and needs to be caught. I mean, that's another first down conversion on 2nd down. That should have been caught.
Michael Bennett's been quiet today, too, as a wide receiver. Clowney's back in there. lining up on his right defensive end spot where he spent the majority of the day, maybe all day, I guess, huh, Todd?
Yeah, he hasn't moved anywhere other than there.
Third down for Georgia and long. They're going to bring an extra body off the corner. Murray's going to throw that way and caught by Conley. Chris Conley went up high and got it. Pick up of 14.
Well, because they showed this blitz early and it wasn't a quick count, Aaron Murray was able to know where the pressure was coming from, know where he had single coverage, and get the ball out there for the big conversion to Conley. They showed that blitz too soon, and Aaron Murray read it.
So first down for the Dogs. And now they give the fullback a little sugar, and that's Quavon Hicks. And Hicks carries people to midfield.
Mark Richt loves Quavon Hicks. I mean, he thinks he, as a fullback, which is somewhat of a dying breed in football, they think Hicks, his skill set is the best that he's seen since William Floyd at Florida State.
And a quick handoff and breaking through. Keith Marshall this time. Marshall down at a 40 and another Georgia first down.
And the first and foremost thing that a fullback has to do in an I formation offense is thump or block, and that's what Hicks loves to do. But he also has ball skills. Led that play for the first down.
And Clowney goes out again. And with Clowney out, in comes Tim Gurley again in place of Marshall.
Now, Darius English also is in, and he's an edge rusher. He's a much smaller guy. He's 6'6", 226 pounds. Doesn't have the bulk to stop the run like Clowney.
And here he goes, the guy we just talked about. Quavon Hicks. 15 more yards and a first down.
He's 6'2", 260 pounds. He was a defensive tackle or a nose guard in high school. That was easy. I mean, there wasn't even anybody in the hole to touch him.
Georgia with a first down at the South Carolina 25. And now it's Gurley. And Gurley for 5 more, maybe 6. Check in with Holly quickly.
Jadeveon Clowney on the bench, wincing in pain. He keeps grabbing the right arch and top of his right foot that was stepped on at practice on Tuesday. He was trying to get some oral medication in him, but he ran back out on the field before they could get it down him. So he is now back out, sitting on the bench, and they are all examining him right now.
There you see it. Thanks, Holly. 9th play of the Georgia drive as a second down and 5 coming up.
And again, his replacement, English, is a much slighter guy. I'd run right at him.
Murray, quick throw out on the flat. Got it to Michael Bennett. Finally, Michael Bennett, who we've been calling for today, has a catch, and it's a big one on third down.
Beautiful block by Arthur Lynch, the tight end. He was out there, the lead blocker. You got to get the first guy blocked. Watch number 88. Get a block right there and enables Bennett to get up to the first down. He also gets a block downfield from Conley, but the Lynch block got him the first down.
And it's first and goal for the Dogs just inside the 10. Gurley back in behind Quavon Hicks.
Again, give the ball to 3 and see who wants to tackle him.
This time they do a good job of gang tackling. Got a yard, maybe 2. And Clowney coming back in, but he's got a hitch in his giddy up for sure. Clowney has 1 sack today. He's altered a few plays, but playing right now on a bad foot. Georgia's got a 5-minute drive going, and if they close this out with a touchdown, they would be in good shape with a quarter to play.
Well, Clowney replaced Chaz Sutton, so he's lined up on the left side now. The first time he's not lined up in his normal position.
Gurley didn't even get a yard that time, I don't think. And Clowney was part of the tackle with Cohen Lewis.
He lined up on the opposite side for the first play of the game, and boy, did he explode into the block. Ran right by Arthur Lynch and was part of the tackle.
13th play of the drive, and I know they don't want to settle for 3. And we'll see if South Carolina can get a stop here.
And Clowney is still on the left defensive end working against Colton Houston now.
Aaron Murray in the shotgun. Rolls to his right, wants to throw it to the end zone and does, and got him. Todd Gurley, touchdown. The 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Aaron Murray.
Aaron Murray is not as prone to leave the pocket as Connor Shaw, but he is certainly capable of extending plays that way. A beautiful job eluding J.T. Surratt and Jadeveon Clowney, and a nice adjustment on the scramble by Todd Gurley.
That is the first receiving touchdown of Todd Gurley's Georgia career, and it was a huge one with 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Aaron Murray is going to feel pressure from his right. Clowney and Surratt, he buys time, and Gurley did a beautiful job of that. Wasn't the intended route, but when he saw his quarterback scramble, he broke out towards the sideline, and Murray was able to hit him for the touchdown.
So Murray's hit both of his tailbacks, Marshall and now Gurley, for scoring tosses. And he got planted as he let go of the football, but he knew that it was in the hands of Gurley in the end zone.
So far, he has played admirably.
Barber to kick. Sean Carson on the other end will have a chance at this one from the 3-yard line. Carson stood up at the 20, and down he goes right there. Nice job by the Bulldogs special team. A lot of shadows on the field at Sanford Stadium between the hedges. Big shadow over Connor Shaw right now. Can he bring his team back from 10 down? And it's Davis getting to the corner. Davis down the sideline. Mike Davis. He might go all the way. Finally brought down around the 5. And again showing speed that a lot of people didn't think he had. What a huge run.
Well, a couple guys got caught taking bad angles to the football. Trey Matthews, number 28, and Josh Harvey Clemens both underestimated the speed of Mike Davis.
A 74-yard romp has put South Carolina in business to start the fourth quarter when we return. The scene in Athens on our college football presented by Cars.com. 34-24, another 75-yard run by Mike Davis, second in 2 weeks, Todd.
Well, you're going to see two guys for Georgia that take bad angles to the football. As they pursue this play, watch what happens to freshman Trey Matthews and sophomore Josh Harvey Clemens. They both underestimate the speed of Mike Davis, take bad angles to the football, and he's able to turn the corner. And that's something that Georgia worked specifically on this week, taking better angles. That time, it didn't work.
His first 75-yarder was a touchdown against North Carolina. His second has set up his team first and goal at the Georgia 5. Shaw gives it to him again, and a tough 2, maybe 2.5. Rameek Wilson made the stop. Nice thing for Davis after that long run. The quarter ended. He had a chance to catch his breath.
Catch his breath. Last week in the Clemson win over Georgia, this is the part of the field where they utilized Taj Boyd, the quarterback, as a runner.
Davis in the middle of the pile, and not much there, if anything. It'll be third and goal. I don't think we have to stress too much that this is the biggest third down of the game. And the Georgia defense and the fans are aware of that. Shaw moves his tight end Adams over on the right flank. And he's going to run that way and pitch it to Davis, who cuts back inside, and he's in. Touchdown, South Carolina. Tough run. Great second effort by Mike Davis.
Really great decision by Davis to turn his shoulders straight ahead and plow his way into the end zone. If he tries to take this all the way to the corner, I don't think he makes it. But watch him make the decision to square up and just try to drive through arm tackles into the end zone. Power running by Mike Davis at the goal line.
I don't think they're going to say Marcus Who in Columbia, but he's done a pretty good imitation of Marcus Lattimore, who's a San Francisco 49er now. Marcus is probably watching this game if he can, and I'm pretty sure he's proud of number 28 and what he's done today. Big touchdown, capping an 80-yard drive. Extra point is wide left.
It was a bad snap. The snap was low. It was bobbled briefly, and they weren't able to get it down cleanly.
And I think Steve's face tells the entire story right there.
Ryan Culbertson is the snapper. Patrick Fish is the holder. And you think this is supposed to be automatic? Well, it's not.
A huge play right there. Now South Carolina knows they'll need a touchdown. Think about special teams plays today. Georgia risked an onside kick, took it in for points. They dropped a punt snap. South Carolina turned that into points. And now South Carolina, on a bad snap, a bad hold, and a bad kick, are 4 points behind instead of 3 here in the fourth quarter. Landed hard to kick. Justin Scott Wesley waits way down on the other end. He's going to have a chance at this one from the 2. And he's not going to make the 20. Let's check in with Holly.
Georgia's weapons on offense have gone down. Canarius Gates, their starting left tackle, is out for now with a right foot injury. They were examining the top of his foot and his ankle and his knee. He's got 2 big bags of ice on either side of his knee. But even a bigger story, Keith Marshall, their running back, the backup to Todd Gurley, a left knee bruise. They have fitted him with a little brace that goes under the kneecap, and he's walking gingerly here on the sideline, not sure if he can return.
That looks like he won't, Holly. Thank you. And that means more pressure on Todd Gurley to carry the load. Not that he hasn't already. Dawgs just outside their own 18-yard line with a 4-point lead. Murray, quarterback draw, or a broken play. I don't know what that was.
That looked like a draw.
Aaron actually ran more as a freshman, and they tried to reel him in a little bit. He makes some big plays, but they wanted him to stay in the pocket more often, and we've seen very few runs out of him in his senior season so far. But he did lose about 10 pounds in the offseason, dropped his body fat, wanted to be quicker. But he's had a sensational game to this point. But he's still got a long ways to go. And he's going to be flushed and wants to throw on the run here too. And it just looks like confusion on that side of the ball the last couple of plays. Just weird looking.
Well, that was supposed to be a quick throw that wasn't there. And South Carolina with 2 good plays on 1st and 2nd down, forcing a 3rd and long. Aaron Murray wanted to throw that quick. It wasn't there and tried to extend the play with a scramble. And if South Carolina could get a 3 and out here, momentum might, even though they're behind, momentum could be shifting a little bit their way.
3rd down and 8. Murray in a shotgun, Gurley with him, 4 wide receivers for Georgia. South Carolina thinking about a blitz. Murray flushed out of the pocket by Clowney. Throws on the run down the sideline, man wide open. And it's Justin Scott Wesley, and he's gone. Touchdown, Georgia. An 85-yarder for Aaron Murray.
He hasn't left the pocket as much as Connor Shaw today, but when he has, it has paid off big dividends for him. He threw the touchdown pass to Gurley when he was flushed out by Clowney. He's flushed out again, and he throws a deep touchdown pass. Big plays off of scrambles.
Patrick Velas with a point after. It's good. 13 minutes to play, and Georgia has taken an 11-point lead. And they do it on the right arm of senior quarterback Aaron Murray. His 4th touchdown pass of the day. The Georgia faithful lit up with a 41-30 lead here in the fourth quarter. And Aaron Murray, 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers.
Without his favorite target, who was hurt the first game, Malcolm Mitchell. Just a brilliant performance so far by Aaron Murray. Spreading the ball around, reading the coverage, playing with poise, leaving the pocket when he needs to, and making big plays outside of the pocket.
And how about 6 out of 7 on 3rd down passing, including that 3rd and 13 that went for 85 yards and a touchdown. As the shadows cover the field here between the hedges, Sean Carson takes the kick at the goal line. Got the corner across the 25, bounced out of bounds around the 27-yard line, and Todd takes us back to the touchdown.
Well, it was a great play by Murray, but a mistake by South Carolina. Now, this right here is T.J. Gurley. The reason he's playing is because safety Kadritrix Marcus separated his shoulder in the North Carolina game. The corner, Ahmad Christian, thinks he's going to have help from the safety. He turns loose the outside receiver, Scott Wesley, and the safety wasn't there to help. And that was a miscommunication between the backup safety Gurley and the corner Christian. Third down and long, you never turn somebody loose down the sideline like that.
Now can the other senior quarterback rally his Gamecocks? Connor Shaw and his team down 11, and he comes up firing. On the far sideline, almost intercepted over there by Brendan Langley as Connor Shaw sort of hung that one up there for Demir Bird.
Well, that was a long throw because they're on the left hash and they were throwing to the right sideline. So just as you said, that ball stays in the air a long time, and that enabled Langley to make a play on it. They've picked on him the entire game, but that time Langley was in position to make a play on the ball.
Connor Shaw, whose 3 losses as a starter have come on the road, has only hit 1 of his last 6 passes. He hits this one, though, perfectly, and it's Shaq Rowland. Is that his first catch of the day?
I think so.
16-yard pickup.
Very, very quiet. I expected him to be much more involved in the offense. He's got single coverage on Langley. Good read and throw by Connor Shaw.
He was the player of the year in the state of South Carolina a couple of years ago. Highly touted wide receiver, but only caught 5 balls last year. And that's his first one today, but it's good for a first down. Gamecocks at their own 43-yard line as we're under 12 and a half minutes. Shaw, plenty of time. Fires near sideline. High catch made by Shaq Rowland again. And another first down.
What Rowland did a nice job of here, again, working on Langley as he used his body to stay between the defender and the ball. Watch him kind of box out like a basketball rebounder and then go up high and catch it at its high point.
So South Carolina's got something working here. This is a pretty good rivalry. South Carolina's owned it the last 3 years. Georgia in the lead here, and Shaw comes up firing to Rowland. His 3rd catch on this drive, and he's got it inside the 25-yard line.
The reason I thought that last score by Georgia was so important is I think if either team is more susceptible to fatigue here in the 4th quarter, it's Georgia. South Carolina played on a Thursday night. They had 2 extra days of rest and recovery. Georgia played on the road at night and didn't get back from Clemson here to Athens until after 3 in the morning. So at this point in the game, if either team is going to be fatigued, Georgia is more susceptible.
Gamecocks 1st and goal at the Georgia 8. Shaw pumps and now keeps it. Whatever he saw, he decided the better of it and tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. Sterling Bailey put him down there.
I think they were trying to go outside to their tight end. They had him lined up wide against the defensive back, number 81, Rory Anderson, who's 6'5". But Connor Shaw did not like what he saw. Didn't think he was open enough to throw it.
10 minutes in the ball game. 2nd and goal. South Carolina from the 9. Shaw, quarterback draw all the way this time, and Shaw is down to the 3. And a hush over the crowd here at Sanford Stadium.
Well, and you're wondering if Steve Spurrier now, he knows he's got to score twice. If they score a touchdown, they'll go for 2 to try to make it a 3-point game. If they don't get it in here, does he go ahead and take the 3 right now? I think he probably will.
We're about ready to find out. 3rd and goal. Davis inside. And man, that whole pile moved a lot closer to the goal line than I thought it was going to.
Again, that looks like a tired looking defense a little bit. Now they're going to mark him just short. And because it's just inside the 1, I think now Steve might go for it.
And again, an extra surge there by Davis. And his helmet actually got to the goal line. The football didn't. And this might be the whole ball of wax right here. 4th and a foot.
Now remember, they've had a couple high snaps. They can't afford a high snap right here from Clayton Stadnick.
Shaw in the gun. On the option, the pitch. They didn't get there. Georgia with a goal line stand.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 56 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, it was a dead ball foul, so the ball still belongs to the Bulldogs, but they're inside their 1-yard line.
Gurley's the tailback. Bad spot for Georgia's offense inside their own 1-yard line. They'll move Lynch, the tight end, and trying to draw Clowney and company off. Clowney thinks it's on Georgia. Georgia thinks they did pull him off.
Georgia moved first.
False start. Offense, number 64. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Now, I agree with you. I would have just given it to the fullback on first down and maybe on second down tried to use the snap count. But not on that first down play. You just don't want to take any chances inside your 1-yard line.
I mean, that football can't get any closer without touching the goal line.
You might have to quarterback sneak this one.
Again, same formation. Murray trying to draw him off again. Gurley in the end zone trying to bring it out. He maybe got to the 2. That's about it.
South Carolina electing to go for the touchdown on that 4th down. And then playing the percentages that, hey, if we miss it, there's still 8 minutes left in the game. And if our defense can get a stop here, we'll get the ball back in really good field position.
Now Georgia does have just a little bit of breathing room, Ledge, at the 2-yard line. And the danger of South Carolina trying to bunch up there, if Gurley breaks a tackle, he might go 99 yards for a touchdown. They fake it to him, and the pass is to Hicks, the fullback wide open, and rumbling out to the 25. 23-yard pickup on his quarterback to the fullback.
Nice call. Second down. You got a little breathing room on the Gurley run, so you fake it to him and slip the lead blocker out into the flat. And again, we see the skills of Hicks with the ball in his hands after the catch.
7th different receiver Aaron Murray is used today. And Georgia in a huddle right now for one of the few times today because they know that the clock is one of their allies right now. If they can keep drives going. A freshman out of Augusta, Georgia. He's in there in the Georgia eye on 2nd and 7. Puts both hands around the ball and breaks free. And runs over a couple of would-be tacklers. How about that? Look at the smile on Gurley's face.
This is just power running. Great blocking at the point of attack. Dallas Lee, who had the penalty on first down, pulled around and got a key block on the power play. And look at the ball security. Cover it up. Keep it high and tight. Lower the shoulder, and a fresh set of legs gets a big first down for Georgia.
Wow. To the 40-yard line. Douglas stays in there, gets another carry, and again wraps both arms around it. And still going for a tough 3 more. I didn't expect to see number 22 too much today, but has he ever shown here in the 4th quarter with just over 4 to play? This drive started with 8:28 left. And now it's the 8th play of the drive, and they moved it from their own 1-foot line down to the South Carolina 37.
And the thing is, Georgia doesn't need points here. They would be just perfectly content to keep eating clock and making a couple first downs and put all the pressure on the South Carolina offense.
2nd down and 7. Lynch, the tight end, in motion in the Dawgs backfield, and Douglas tries to follow his blockers for another 2.
Right now, if Douglas stays in, what he has to be thinking is protect the football, and if I feel like I can't get any more yards, go down, because the longer he stays up, guys are going to come in and try to strip the ball out. Get what you can get and then get down to the ground.
You got a senior quarterback who has basically played a flawless game. Do you let him throw one here on 3rd and 5? His 3rd down has been his best down.
I think you do. I really do. I would have total trust in Aaron Murray right now because his decision making through this entire game has been outstanding. He's a great preparation guy. That's what Mark Richt and Mike Bobo both told us about him. He prepares as hard as well as anybody they've ever had. And he'll know what to do with the football here if they say to give him the green light to throw it.
Going to wind that clock down as low as he can. 3rd down and 5. They're going to keep it on the ground. Toss sweep to Douglas. He didn't get there. He's about 2 yards shy.
But as you mentioned, when South Carolina was stopped on 4th and 1, there was over 8 minutes left in the ball game. Now, as Georgia looks at a 4th and 2, there's 2.5 minutes left in the game.
And we've got a timeout. South Carolina stops it with 2:37 remaining. Big 4th down when we come back. And Aaron Murray, who had 4 touchdowns 2 years ago in this game, but that was a 45-42 loss. This one, they're 2 minutes away from having a huge win.
Yeah. Well, and again, that thing that he's trying to erase, that mark on his career, his brilliant Georgia career, couldn't win in the big games against ranked opponents. Has an opportunity to lead his team here. 4th down, they've had 8 runs and 1 pass. I would expect run number 9 here.
Especially with number 3 in there. And there's the toss to Gurley. If he gets a 1st down, and he does, Georgia's going to keep the drive moving. And Arthur Lynch leading the way. His tight end just gives him a shove in the chest. Well, a huge day for number 3.
Gurley got a nice 3-play break on the sideline to catch his wind, to get a drink, and when he came back in for this play, he had pressure-looking legs, and he's able to turn the corner. Nice block from his right guard, Chris Burnett.
And he lost a tire along the way, so he's going to put his shoe back on, and Douglas will come back in at the tailback spot. But we're down to 35 seconds, and the old ball coach, I guess, isn't going to stop this game. Georgia's going to start, though, to celebrate. 3 straight years South Carolina's had their number, and today the number is Georgia's, 41-30. Georgia ran off the final 8.5 minutes of the ball game to win it. And the only undefeated SEC East teams right now are Missouri and Tennessee. How about that? That's a little strange. And Connor Shaw will have to live with this one too. Another road loss, his 4th in his brilliant career. But Aaron Murray, it was his day today. Couldn't have played any better. 4 touchdown passes for the senior. And he can finally erase that bugaboo on his resume of not being able to win the big game against a ranked opponent. Mark Richt, the winning coach with Holly.
Well, Coach, you opened the second half tied with them. What was the turning point in your mind?
I don't even remember. Just everybody kept playing hard. Murray made a couple plays. We ran the ball much better. Our offensive line really did a beautiful job, even on the last drive, to be able to finish the game like that. They could have scored a couple times if we didn't just finish the game. So just real proud of everybody.
How do you describe that defensive stand at the goal line to prevent that score?
It was amazing. It was awesome. I mean, that's why you keep fighting. That's why you just keep on fighting and keep believing. And, you know, they're young. They definitely don't know what they're doing yet, but they'll fight. That's a good thing. What stood out in your mind about your senior quarterback, Aaron Murray, today? Well, you know, he made some plays. He got knocked down a couple times, but he didn't flinch. Really did a good job of directing our run game. It was really fantastic. How do you describe the way your team bounced back from that Clemson loss? Well, I don't know, other than you got to go play the next game. And we knew we were playing a great team. A team we hadn't beaten in 3 years. And I'm just glad we got it done. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
For the first time in 15 years, Georgia had to play back-to-back ranked opponents. 1998, the last time they did it. And they've done it here today and won the second go-around, this over number 6 South Carolina. Georgia with a victory, a big one in the SEC East. For Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, Brad Nessler from Athens. So long as we send it back to the studio, guys.